for those who don't know me, I like playing the guitar, but I don't like the guitar. When I was young, I really didn't want to learn how to play this thing, but I learned out of necessity, and it's really fun. But a lot of people I find who play guitar, um, they forget a couple things. I do too, but um, I find a lot of guitar players will play like this. Notice how I'm holding the chord as like a machine would. Like you hold certain things down and you do this, and that makes the guitar go guitar, 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 guitar. And that's great. But I've always kind of, I guess that's the thing that I don't like about guitars, is like it's very much like a lot of people play it like a harp. Which sounds very nice and stuff like that, but do I look... So, I want to teach you all guitar players some very important things. See these? These are fingers. Now, there's a really cool thing about fingers, because unlike how a lot of people think hands work like this, there's actually 1 break, 2 break, and 3 breaks on each finger. And you can actually put pressure on this one, or just on that one. With a little bit of practice and a little bit of technique, you can actually gain control over being able to do an entire bar chord, and then just still having that there, but only putting pressure on one end and using the rest just to mute it. And you can do that with all your fingers. Now, you might be going, oh, well, that's nice. But, I mean, I guess this is why I love, like, ska and reggae players, because they like to use this kind of idea of not holding the note like a, bear claw, but, like, actually just pressing the strings down instead of strangling the guitar. Where this is strangling, and they can just put pressure, strum, take off, pressure, strum, take off. And you start finding that, once you start doing like the jazzier stuff, like the nines, that by mixing kind of with a bass, you don't have to strum all the strings. You can just kind of, you could strum all the strings and mute it, or you could just kind of half strum the middle strings. And you can start working around it, like now you're not playing with one instrument, now you're playing with 4. And you'll see this a lot with like I like to take melodic stuff like that and then you ska it up to practice it. Something like that, right? with that, now you have, instead of playing these long frequencies and these long strumming stuff, now you can start messing with the 6 strings and letting these 2 ring out and letting these 2. And you can mess around with that, and now you kind of have like 2 instruments that you can mess with. Now you can have a working bass line that, if you can conceive it and then just figure out how to make your fingers do that, because now you're working with 4 instruments instead of 1, so you don't have to think of what is the exact chord. Now you're just trying to take the chord, and I want to move the bass line down. Okay, here, this is really uncomfortable if I switch it. Cool. And then I wanted to go down to that A, so I just need a release. And then keep walking down to that G, F sharp. And then you can start having like really cool bass lines. I have this, I think I went and took this to like the nth degree on this one song I wrote called Easy Street, where I really worked on kind of, the bass line was really important, but that kind of chord, little kind of hit was cool too. And one reason why I hate the guitar is because if you want to put 2 things together, like, you really have to kind of put it together. And it's just really annoying, and it takes a lot of practice. But I took this line of, oh right, and I moved it down to here because I'll show you in a second. And then the chords. The chords are C minor, E flat, G, A flat, B, C minor. And then it was a matter of trying to put those 2 together. So then I went and go, okay, so C, and then I want this line right here, so I'm just gonna move that part of the chord a little bit over here. That's supposed to be E flat, but I turned it to 9th. That's, I think I turned it into E flat 9 right there, just because I need that finger over there to get this. Down to the G. I hate this one because you gotta take your pinky off. There's a lot of pinky work on there. A lot of pinky work on there. A flat. Sometimes I'll do the 5th. That one's kind of cooler, but I like that up there. I like having that slide up there, but I could do the... No, I couldn't. It's a mind fuck to put that stuff together. I get it. It's hard. But I want you to start thinking of these little guys of not just one instrument, but now you can actually start doing two instruments of something like that. Anyways, but so here's your techniques. I want you. Here's your study stuff. I think you guys could do. First is work on being able to bar and control the bar of. You want to be able to strum all strings and kind of work the mute with every finger. Pinky doesn't really get used that much, but if you can, big plus. And then second is actually just start thinking about, like, well, what if I take this chord and I move the bass? What if I take the chord and start, well, I got a pinky, what could I do with that pinky? And start looking at your spare fingers and seeing what could you do with them. This is a quick little guitar lesson that I think went on for way too long. That went nowhere. This is Xavier Shepard, and signing off, saying